going to be doing my April and May wrap up. If you were wondering where those videos were, they're right here. Both in the month of April and the month of May, I read a grand total of 2 books per those months. I know. The first book that I read in the month of April was Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. I gave this book about 3.5 out of 5 stars. I didn't wholly enjoy every single detail, hence the 3.5 stars, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was a fun read. I haven't read Lola and the Boy Next Door, but I have read Anna and the French Kiss, and this was similar, obviously, but it was not as enjoyable to me as that book was. I really like my contemporaries to be at least a little bit believable, and I had a really hard time believing that this could happen to a human being, or 2 human beings for that matter. I just thought that the foundation of their relationship was really odd, and I just didn't see that as ever happening in life. This book was really riding on the hard 3 out of 5 until the very end of this book, when we see all the other characters from Stephanie Perkins' books and they all reunite and it's wonderful, and that bumped it up a 0.5 because that was probably my favorite part, was the ending. No spoilers, but I really liked the ending of this book. The second book that I read in the month of April was My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Warga. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. If you don't know what My Heart and Other Black Holes is about, it is about a teenage girl who is heavily contemplating suicide, but she's scared to do it by herself, so she goes onto this website where you can find a suicide partner, which is someone who will commit suicide with you. Obviously, this is a huge trigger for suicide. This really was hard for me to read. I really ended up liking this book a lot though, because I thought the way that she and this guy that she finds on this website, I thought that their interaction was very unique because they found each other on a suicide partner website, and it was just very different from pretty much anything I've ever read. I've never read a relationship like this. It was really interesting. This was probably my favorite book out of the 4 books that I read in the last 2 months. So yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So the first book that I read in the month of May was Me and Earl and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews. I had been kind of meaning to read this book for a while because I know a lot of people really like it, but I just never got around to it. And the trailer for the movie that is coming out soon came out, and I was like, I need to read this because I want to get the whole thing. I want to do I want to read it and I want to watch it. It's gonna be great. If you don't know, somehow Me and Earl and the Dying Girl is about this guy that I can't remember his name, but he has one, and his friend Earl, and this girl named Rachel who has cancer. It was really nice to see a contemporary story that wasn't centered around a romance, but had a lot of interesting friendships going on. I ended up giving this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I thought that it was really funny. I thought that the filmmaking aspect of it was hilarious. At the same time, I just found it to be a little bit lacking in something. I'm not even sure why. It just didn't click with me. That's really all it was. We just didn't have it just didn't whoa, blow me away, but I liked it. It was fine. However, even though I didn't love this book a ton, I do have a feeling that I'm gonna like the movie, because sometimes this will happen where I will read a book and I'm like, it's okay. Then it gets turned into a movie and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was great. The final book that I read in the month of May was Miss Mayhem by Rachel Hawkins. This is the sequel to Rebel Belle, which came out last year and was one of my favorite books of 2014. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought that it lived up to my expectations of what I thought the sequel to Rebel Belle would be. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as Rebel Belle. There was a lot of stuff that had to happen to set up for the final book, and I thought that Rachel Hawkins did a really good job of doing that, and I was entertained. I've seen some people say they thought it was boring. I wasn't bored. I thought it set up for the final book really well, and I'm super excited for the final book. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be great. So those were the books that I read in the months of April and May. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed it. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of these books if you have read them. If not, let me know what you think of what I think, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I will see you guys soon. I'll talk to you later. Bye! No! I just dropped my phone, but it's okay. We're safe. That was way too scary, and I never want to live that again. They're finally quiet. They stopped. They stopped when I'm done. I'm literally done with this video, and they stopped screaming. They've been screaming this whole time. Oh, children.